Hello everybody, and thanks for joining me again for Third Act Stories. And I'm going to get to do something today that I just absolutely love doing in my third act, and that is take my Corvette, my Chevrolet Corvette, 2013 C6 Corvette, out for a drive. And I wouldn't say I'm a car guy necessarily. I've had a few interesting cars over my illustrious career of being a not car guy. I've had 3 Gran Torinos, all of which were painted up like a familiar Gran Torino that y'all all know too well. The last one having zebra striped seats in it, which of course makes it a little ghetto styling. I also had a questionable Trans Am, which occasionally ran, and several other cars that weren't as fun. But before I had this, I had a 2016 or 2015 Mustang, which I just thought was fantastic. It was wonderful. And my mom and dad passed away, and I ended up keeping their Lexus because, I don't know, do you keep the Mustang or you keep the Lexus? I was going to give my Mustang to my uncle, who really got me into Mustangs. So when I offered to give him that, he ended up telling me, I'm in my 80s. I can't get in and out of a Mustang. So I ended up selling that. And at the time, I was living in, if people who know me know what my life's journey has been like, know that there was a time where I really didn't have anything. I'd lost a lot due to some life issues. And I was living in some apartments that I loved. I absolutely had more fun in a place where I didn't have a whole lot, and I was just living the life of Riley, basically on a river, in a van down by the river. Not the van. I was in a nice apartments. And like I say, I didn't have that much, but I was happy with that. And the Lord saw fit to restore me to a little bit better situation, and I ended up getting a Corvette. And actually, the truth be told about this, I paid less for this car than I did for my Mustang. Got a really good deal on this thing, and I bought it sight unseen over the internet. I've actually got a buddy who has Corvettes, and I'd go see him, and I'd always go, I never had a Corvette. I always wanted a Corvette. So I just bought one day, saw it over the internet, had it delivered to me like from Amazon or something. It wasn't Amazon, but anyway, the car just came and it was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. It had black seats. I didn't like black seats. I thought red seats would be the way to go. So I did put red seats in it. But the car was just beautiful. The engine, as you can take a look here, is a LS3, which, from what I've been told, has more horsepower than I will ever need. And I certainly don't use all the horsepower. But, it came looking like this. It was pristine. It's just a lovely, fun thing. And I know someday I'm not going to be driving this. Someone else will be driving it. But the current life circumstance that I'm in allows me to drive this thing. And I am just thankful. I am thankful as I could be. To tell you the truth, my daughter gave me this coffee cup, and if I had to choose between this coffee cup and this car, I might go for the coffee cup. But, this thing, I'm holding on to it with open hands and enjoying it, and I thought I'd show you what I've been lucky enough to be able to do in my third act. And, if you have any car, you can enjoy these same things that I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to go down and meet with some guys who have other cars, and then I'm going to go on a little drive out in the weather, in the nice fresh weather we've got here in spring, and just have an enjoyable day. So whatever your circumstances, whatever your car is or not car is, just enjoy the day and be thankful for the blessings you've got. Okay, so I'm going to get in it. We're going to go. Well, as it turned out, it's a little too overcast this morning for much of anybody to show up at the car show. So I'm just going to go for a nice little drive. I enjoy getting out in any kind of weather, really, and driving this car. And so normally during the spring, I live in what's called the Texas Hill Country, which is really the Texas River Country. We've got rivers running all through this town, and occasionally it gets rainy. 9 times out of 10, it's not rainy at all. It's just dry and hot, but it's a dry heat, so that's the important part of it. But I love just driving along the river and getting out in some fresh air, even on an overcast day like today. And, you know, one of the things that I mentioned earlier is that I used to live down on the river in beautiful apartments, and my balcony looked out over the river. I had a duck. I just was living this great life. And, you know, that's a wonderful thing. And then I ended up buying this car. And like I say, this car was not an expensive purchase for me, with the caveat that I had to end up buying a house. You know, I bought the car and I parked it out in the parking lot of the apartment for a while, and I went, you know what? I've got a Corvette. I need to have a garage to put this thing in. So I went off and bought a house, which kind of upped the cost of the car a little bit. And then I had to get the garage floor with that funky, you know, covering that you put in. So that upped it a little bit more. And then the backyard, I had to focus on the backyard and do all that kind of stuff. So technically this car is actually the most expensive thing I ever bought. But it started out as a very affordable C6 Corvette, which, again, I've never had Corvettes. I love this thing. It's just a great build. I mean, the car is built really nice. And, you know, this isn't a Corvette video, but one of the things about these cars is that they're still a little analog. They're not updating software all the time. They're not watching you. They're not telling the insurance company whether you're going fast or your eyes are on the road, like they are right now. No, my eyes weren't on the road right now, but I know this road, and, you know, I'm a Corvette driver. I don't have to look at the road. But anyway, it's just a lot of fun to get out, even on a nice overcast day, which we don't get much of, so I enjoy it. Anyway, the long and the short of this is that, you know, find things that you can enjoy in your 60s. If you can afford to get a nice, fun car that maybe you can take the top off, you know, I'm a big fan of going topless. You know, what can I say? And you get to smell all the smells. Usually they're pretty good. You get to hear all the birds and, you know, just enjoy the environment. So, long story short, I'm having fun in my 60s. You ought to have fun in your 60s, whatever it is you're doing. You don't have to have a super expensive or even a moderately expensive car. You can find fun in all sorts of things in life. I've been able to just enjoy my life, whether I had a lot or had a little. And I think that's the key to it. Just figuring out how to make a good life for yourself wherever you are. So anyway, I sure appreciate y'all coming by again. Hopefully this video was of some use. We really didn't get to see a whole lot. You know what though? I'm going to show some video, or not video, but some still footage of a show that I went to last couple of weeks ago. And it was in a little town called Bernie, and it was really fun. I had some buddies of mine come down from Houston, and they came into town with a few aches and pains, and we went on that Corvette run, and they got out of it a fresh, new emotional and physical rejuvenation. They really enjoyed it, and I did too. Thanks for coming by and seeing me again on Third Act Stories.